Gordon, another question that we received, which is similar to the one you just answered, is how do I stop masturbating? This is a problem that people are wanting to stop, but they don't know how. How can they stop masturbating?
Okay, another great question that many people struggle with. I believe there are 5 keys to the language of recovery that I talk to clients about over and over again. Acceptance, surrender, awareness training, mindfulness training, and then faith that you can change, a belief that you can change. Acceptance and surrender are the keys to learning how to stop the behavior. First of all, to accept the fact that the limbic part of the brain simply does what it does. There's a little brain here I could show you. Again, the limbic system is this part of the brain right here. It functions on 3 prime directives: survive. It does that by avoiding pain and seeking pleasure. Our pleasure centers are located in the limbic part of the brain. This is the part of the brain that is instinctive. It's the type that's in a lion or a tiger, and it loves pleasure. It's natural to want to feel that stimulation. This is the part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, that's rational, logical, cognitive, wants to make sense of things, and that's the part of the brain that has a little problem making sense of the whole masturbation thing. How much is too much, or is once a week okay? And it tries to deal with that, where this part would just like to do it over and over and over again. So in order to learn how to manage it is just, again, to accept that the urges to do so come from the limbic regions of the brain. No reason to have to fight it or to feel bad about that. It's natural, it's normal. But what most individuals do is when they have these cravings and feelings that are natural, they fight it, they feel bad about it. It's something called the superego, that is the high moral part of a person that pushes one to perfection, is never completely satisfied, goes, no, you should put that off, you shouldn't do that, shouldn't do that. And the more you do that self-talk, the more threatened this part becomes, because it believes that sexual activity is a survival. Survival means because that's what it's meant to do, and so it actually enhances the probability that one will act out. So, and again, that's what the InnerGold treatment manual is about, and the book, The Language of Recovery, explains a little bit more about acceptance and surrender, how to roll with things a little bit, and to accept this energy, that it's a positive, healthy thing, not to feel negative about it, but then to take this energy and choose to refrain from certain behaviors and move into another direction. And this is what individuals can learn to do with patience and practice, and then there's no guilty feelings afterward and shameful feelings. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there listening to this going, what's this whole thing about feeling guilty? You should never feel guilty about masturbating, and there's nothing wrong with it. But it's just that perhaps you can take the energy and use it in a better way, in a more positive direction, rather than just dissipating, because it just seems like it never ends. Like to the limbic part of the brain, one time is too many, and 1,000 never enough. It just keeps going and going and going, and never can fully be satisfied. So, again, accept the fact that that's how the limbic part of the brain works. Surrender is just a little bit deeper aspect of that, and learning to turn that over and say, it is what it is, but I'm going to turn and move into a different direction and use this energy for something positive. And then afterwards, those other feelings don't have to plague an individual, which it seems to do, at least what I hear in my office over and over and over again. But the one point I wanted to make, especially with this, is that those who claim that masturbation is totally healthy and normal and all that, to me that sounds more like rationalization, justification, minimization, and that's what the limbic part of the brain needs to do in order to preserve that behavior. Just want you to consider the possibility that there are other options. You don't have to do it. Know that it feels good, and that many want to do it and they want to feel justified, but again, the answer comes in the question that the questions that we get so often is masturbation wrong? Why do you need to even ask such a question? So I would just encourage you to just be still, be quiet, and kind of think about what would it be like for you to take this energy and use it in more productive ways.